What's up guys, it's me your faithful host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD, and welcome to Salt and Sacrifice. So this is the sequel to Salt and Sanctuary, which was a phenomenal game. Salt and Sanctuary is fantastic, I highly recommend you play that and check it out if you haven't already. It's sort of an indie, 2D side-scrolling Dark Souls-inspired game created by Scott Studios, and it came out back in 2016, I believe, but I have a playthrough of that game on my channel, organized into a playlist. And I'll leave that in the description, should you so wish to check that out as well. Highly recommend it. But this is going to be a blind run of this game, and I already have a character idea in mind for this playthrough. We are going to play as a female ranger. And I did a little bit of testing. That's the only part of this playthrough that's not going to be blind. I should probably disclose that. I have made it to the very first boss in this game. That's as far as I've gone, but I do know that the only reason I tend to do that on these blind playthroughs is because I don't want to go in so blind that I choose a class that I'm going to end up not liking. So I decided to try out a few of the different classes. I didn't try all of them, but I did a few of them just to get a feel for how I want to play and how I want to do this adventure. And to me, the Ranger was the most fun to use out of the few classes that I picked. And I'll go over why as we continue into the game. So this crime feature is pretty cool. You get to choose your starting gift based on the crime that you commit, and I think that that's just awesome. It's sort of like a double. It's sort of like, I don't know, a character feature. It says a lot about your character's backstory, and it allows you to be creative and customize your character and play who you want to be and kind of control their story. And you can create like an origin if you want to, which is kind of what I do in these games. I like to create a specific character that has a backstory and everything and has their own lore, so to speak. But a lot of these gifts I've not tried. I've only picked a few of them, and the arson seems to be the best one to pick in my opinion, because the fire bombs can really help you get the damage in against the tougher enemies and the bosses in particular if you're having a hard time. But for this character, I'm going to go with Brigandry, because this little dagger charm is going to increase our maximum stamina, which is incredibly helpful in this game, because in my very brief time in the first stage of the game, I've noticed that if you don't manage your stamina well, the game can punish you severely hard. So every little bit of extra stamina is going to help us quite a bit. So we're going to play as a female. Our ancestry is going to be wood. Our eyes are going to be... I'll go with amber. I'm fine with this hairstyle, but the hair color that I like is the ashen. That looks good to me, and then we will color match the eyebrows. There we go. Actually, you know what? I kind of like the way the darker eyebrows look. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Alright, so there is our female ranger, Gale, and I'm ready to get started if you guys are. I am condemned. For the crime of brigandry, the realm's ultimate penalty awaited me. But there is another way to become a marked inquisitor. I drank the Magebane, I spoke the words. My jailer brings me to the western frontier, where whispers of magic again stir. I live now only to hunt mages. Alright, and right out of the gate, we're going to cut our binds and free ourselves. And the first things you notice about this game upon stepping into the world is that just like Salt and Sanctuary, the art style is incredibly original. It's very, very sharp. I mean, look at the trees, the shapes, the colors, and everything. This game is visually stunning, just like Salt and Sanctuary was, even more so in some areas. I'll point those out as we progress, but everything else is pretty similar. The buttons are basically the same, and you can change the commands if you want to make them like truly copy and paste like Salt and Sanctuary, but I'm not going to do that. I think we'll adapt just fine. One feature that I am really, really happy about is the sprint. Yeah, you can kick the shit out of your enemies and send them flying across the screen. It's great. There is only one thing I'm truly disappointed about with this game, and that's that they got rid of the parry function. So, if you block the way I am right now, normally in Salt and Sanctuary, you could use your attack button while blocking, and it would allow you to do a sort of parry. And you could do it with just two-handing a weapon or a shield, it didn't matter. But you can't do that in this game. I'm interested to play further and see what they replaced the parry function with. But as of right now, there is no parry function, and I'm just a little bit sad about that. And my aim is truly terrible in Salt and Sanctuary, and I imagine it'll be just as bad in this game. So, this guy. I'm not going to call this guy a tutorial boss because he's not. I don't think anybody's going to beat this guy. In Salt and Sanctuary, the first boss you're thrown up against is the Unspeakable Deep. And if you're patient and don't get greedy, you can beat that guy. This dude, the furthest I've gotten to him is like half health. And once you get him to half health, he starts doing this crazy magic shit that's like almost impossible to get away from. So, I mean, the best I can do against this guy is stab him in the ankles and dodge. And that extra little bit of stamina that we got from our starting gift is going to help quite a bit in this fight, even though we're probably not going to beat this guy. So the strategy against this guy is very much exactly like the Unspeakable Deep in Salt and Sanctuary. Just use the spacing against him correctly, don't get yourself up against a wall, and just don't get greedy. Just take your time. And you guys will see what I mean. Like, once we get him to the point where he starts using, like, the crazy ranged magic stuff, you'll see why it's almost impossible to beat him. Now, he does have a stagger function, just like the Unspeakable Deep as well, so you need to be careful when you're timing these attacks, because he has a stagger window that will reset him completely. You might anticipate him to do one thing, but once you stagger him, it resets him. Just like that. Okay, once he gets close to a wall, then sprint, rinse and repeat, get behind him again. Easy peasy. I say that, but I'm not going to beat him. Now, once he starts running to the end of the screen and doing, like, the crazy-ass, like, ranged magic attacks, that's when it's going to get hairy. And notice this guy doesn't have a name either. Like, we don't know what this boss is called. It's just a giant health bar. Ooh, and there it is. So I didn't even get him to the crazy magic phase, but you get the picture. That took basically one hit. Like, we would not survive 2 full hits from him. Thank the gods, you're stirring. Spell-marked but stirring, so the Magebane rite succeeded. Belial herself must have been watching over you when you encountered that beast in the woods. It was pure luck that Stablehand Bren was nearby. You were on death's doorstep when he brought you back to Pardoner's Vale. Fortunately, I was able to nurse you back to health. You may call me Herbalist Shenna. I am the Inquisitor's healer at Pardoner's Vale. Here, take this hearth and flask. Quaff it the next time you are injured. And there's sort of our Estus flask, I suppose you could call it. So these dialogues, to save you the trouble of going through all of these and having to listen to me read them in my voice, you can take my word for it. The Hearth and Flask is your healing item. They are limited, but recharge when you rest at obelisks, which is like your bonfire, if we're comparing to Dark Souls. I will do that constantly in this playthrough, rest assured. Belial is this godlike being that is hailed as, like, the deity in this game. I will read this one just to give you an idea. The names of the gods have fallen from our tongues, so it's no surprise to hear a trained mage hunter ask about Belial. Belial is the god of healing wind. It is said that she draws flies from the sick into an urn filled with magical oil where they become butterflies. So, a healing god of wind. And then the spell mark. We are spell marked because we chose to become a marked inquisitor instead of being sentenced to death for our crime of brigandry. And then the Magebane Rite, it just explains how the Inquisitors choose the Magebane Rite as the alternative to death. And it's not a 100% success rate, but if you do the Magebane Rite and you read the words and it goes through correctly, you reach this state that we're in now, which is this sort of smoky blue state, which is I guess the equivalent of being dead in Demon Souls. You can see the blue portion of our health up there. We're missing part of our maximum HP, similar to being in soul form in Demon Souls. And then there is an item like the Humanity, where you can regain your human form and have 100% of your health bar. So Partner's Veil is going to be our hub in this game. And here's our blacksmith. By Tarunan's hand, you're awake. I'm Warpsmith Zakiel, but you can call me Zach. So he is a warp smith. He smiths warps. We'll have to figure out more about that later on. We can use his table here to craft our equipment. There's nothing we can do at the moment with our equipment, so we're not going to worry about it right now. And then you can enhance equipment from this table, which is different from using this function to craft it. And then there's no point in getting up there, not right now at least. This is the leader of the village. You are Gale, I trust. I am Champion Hera. I'm technically in charge here at Partner's Veil, but I do my penance here just as you do. You must embark at once to Ashbourne Village, but to do so you must first speak with Rune Reader Daedala. Descend the stone steps to the west until you reach a cat, then descend more stone steps east until you reach the pond. Then speak to Rune Reader Daedala by the Mirror Gate. So we're getting our first set of instructions here in the beginning of the game. You do have a stockpile, which is great. You can control your inventory as not to get too cluttered and keep yourself organized while you're playing the game. I'm a huge fan of that. And you can attack these things as well. So just like in Salt and Sanctuary, you can destroy the inanimate objects in your environment, and sometimes they will drop currency. And then here, let's talk about this. This is not something that you could do in Salt and Sanctuary. You can now collect materials in this game for crafting, and I'm about it. I'm a huge fan of that. There we go, a couple fire bombs. So instead of going exactly where we were told to go, I'm going to look around a little bit, and we're going to pick up some items. So this guy, this is the person who rescued us, and there is the deer creature that we were riding. Hey there, Inquisitor. Call me Stablehand Brend. I suppose Herbalist Shenna told you about your lucky escape, eh? Champion Hera told me that you should speak with Rune Reader Daedala by the Mirror Gate as soon as possible. You can find them at the pond. If you find the camp cat, descend the stone stairs to the east of him. So that's two NPCs now that are really trying to stress to us that we need to go talk to this Rune Reader Daedala. And this is my way of apologizing. You did not deserve to get blasted with magic just because I was not man enough to accept my punishment for my brigandry. And then this is an important item. We just picked up 2 guiltless shards. I suggest you unequip that from your hotbar. And these berries and the fire bombs and the flask are fine because we're going to use those on the fly. But this is the humanity item that I was telling you about, the guiltless shard. So if we use this, crush it in our hand, we can go back into our human form and we will get back that blue portion of our health. And we won't have the smoky kind of blueness coming off of our character. So highly recommend grab that while you're here in this part of the village. And then if we were to keep going this way and descending down, we will inevitably run into the area that we're looking for. But I want to explore the entire hub real quick. This is where you level up at this really cool looking statue. And you're going to see these little glowing red star type things on these branches and stuff. We don't have the item that allows us to use those yet or interact with them, but we will as soon as we beat the first boss. And then all the doors in this place are locked, or they don't open from the side you're on. It sounds kind of like a Souls game. So what I choose to do for this part is I choose to go this way instead of the way that we were instructed to go. Hello, Inquisitor. My name is Trista. I am a verdant voice, one who speaks for the herbs, fungi, and minerals. You are welcome to use my apothecary's tools to restock and improve your supplies. We have similar character design. So this is where you can upgrade your hunter tools. And the only one we have that we can upgrade is the flask, really. And then we can upgrade the ammunition, but we don't have what we need for that, and we don't have what we require to upgrade the hearth and flask either. But we will. All in good time. So I want to go through here first, because not only is there a chest with some herbs and some ore, doesn't open from this side, makes sense. There's also a sack right here that you can loot. We got some silver, some iron, the haze spiral, and then we got that leaf object. Let's talk about that, shall we? So the wisp leaf. This is one of the ingredients that we need to upgrade the hearth and flask. We already got it, so now we only need one more. And then there's nothing over here. You are probably going to see me mash buttons and attack random walls because, yes, secret passages and illusory walls are a thing in these games. Don't bother going down there because that door is also locked. But this is your alternate way to get where we need to go, to the mirror gate. So this is the cooperators board. These runes are just alphabetical English letters, and you can set a passkey to play with people in multiplayer. That's fantastic. And then this is the Rune Seeker Daedera, I think is what they're called. And then these are the runes that you interact with to get the gate going and go where you need to go. So before we jump into that, this I am 100% certain is just another hunter's tool type thing you can interact with. And the reason I believe that is because I'm pretty sure that leads right up here where this door is. That's what my suspicion is, though. So let's go up these steps. Let me drop down here. Make sure. Okay, yeah, so I'm telling you, man, I double check these doors on every character just to make sure they're actually locked. Pet the kitty. Great. And looks like there's nothing over here. Okay, so that is the entirety of the hub. Now it's time to go to our first area and start fighting some baddies. Are you ready to enter the mirror gate? So if you choose this option, he'll tell you all about the mirror gate. So let's go through that. Yes, you've only just arrived, and the magic in these woods is not well known, even among inquisitors. Behind you is the mirror gate, a gateway between distant locales. I'm called Rune Reader Daedela. I'm the keeper of the mirror gate. The warp of magic has already begun to poison these woods, rendering travel by land nearly impossible. But the mirror gate can lead us right to those cruel and twisted mages that plague the realm. The mirror gate is activated by arcane words spelled in runestones. As a marked inquisitor, you must always be seeking new runestones. I can share a word of runestones with you. Travel to Ashbourne Village. Choose the runes from the basket, then step into the light. Alright, thank you, ma'am. So you can see those runes that just popped up on the screen for Ashbourne Village. It now depicts the order of runes that we need to select in order to go there. So one thing I'm curious about is we have these set runes in front of us, and we don't need to utilize all of these in order to go here. So it would appear that we have some extra runes in our basket. My question is, if you know the combination of runes to get to a late game area based on these that we already have, could you enter that and still go there right from the get-go? It's an interesting thing to think about. So let's just follow the order of the runes that are on the screen. And there we go. This is such a cool feature. And like the rune reader had mentioned, the reason that we have to use the mirror gate to travel places is because apparently due to these mages running rampant and their magic infecting the world, you can't actually travel by the road anymore because there must be like a poisonous fog that kills you. What's this? Water, 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 water. Interesting. I sound like Opie. But there's an NPC up here. We can't get to him because you can probably see it on the branch there, the little glowy red star thing. We're going to need a special item to interact with that and be able to get up there. But by the time we get that item, we will have already approached from behind. So we'll worry about that later. Let's get our first obelisk. And you can rest at these obelisks. It will completely refill your hearth and flask, and it will heal you all the way. but just know the enemies will come back. Yeah, kick the shit out of you. So this weapon, let me just talk about this weapon and why it inspired me to use the Ranger class above all others. This spear is great. It has amazing reach, and I'm just going to go through some of the combos with you to show you what it's capable of. You do this like weird twirling thing, and it's great. It completely melts through the enemies, especially this early in the game. Like even this big guy, trust me, he's not going to be any trouble. You see that? Melted him completely. And then the path kind of forks right here. You can either go through below, through that door, or you can continue to go uphill. And it's going to dead end when we go up here. We're going to get to a point where we can't go any further. So I recommend we finish this part up top here first, and then we worry about Alright, and then we're going to worry about going down below, which is where we need to go. So grab these. Make sure there's no walls we can interact with or anything like that. See, I'm telling you, this game, it normally likes to hide things from you. Hidden ledges, hidden passages and stuff. And you got to be very vigilant. And bam! You catch them completely off guard. I'm telling you, man, that running kick is so good. Oy! Completely forgot. So this, I'm so glad I remembered. Jeez. So there's a trap right here. It's probably kind of hard to see, but right here where the stone ends, if you step over that rope, it's going to send this big spiky thing down. You can use that to completely wax these guys that are sitting right here. So what you can do is, instead of doing what I did, you can just run over here, get their attention, jump up on this hill, and just evade the trap. And then wait for them to run over it, and then boom, they get one shot. Got some more crystal right here. We got some more iron ore, which seems to be a common crafting item to me so far. We'll grab this little hidden chest up here. And I also want to point out that the wall jump is standard in this game. In Salt and Sanctuary, you had to have a special ability in order to be capable of wall jumping, but that's not the case in this game. You can just straight do it out of the gate. You jump against the wall, and then just hit the jump button again, pointing away from it. So a couple quality of life changes that I'm pretty happy with, and we are met with a gate that will not raise. So now the only thing to do is head back down. And not hit that, right? Alright, so once we go through this doorway, this is where things are going to get a little bit tricky. We're going to run into some more enemies. There's going to be a bat here. And he just kind of comes out of nowhere, like it's like he was inside the ceiling. You can't hear him or see him or anything. He just kind of comes out of nowhere. And then we got more of these guys here, just like regular grunts. And, oh. Yeah, there's no evading that, pal. There's no blocking the twirl. I want to say something about the beginner enemies in this game, the grunts. So these guys, look at that. These guys are capable of blocking like 100% of your damage. So it's really kind of surprising to me that even though the goal in this game really is to be difficult and punishing, similar to Dark Souls. And I love the way that guy just flops. That shit's funny. I know that the prerogative in this game is to kind of be merciless and difficult like a 2D Souls game, but these guys in the beginning, even just these regular easy-ass grunts, have this big thick shield, and they can stop most of your attacks, man. Like, look at this. I mean, they can block you all day. And these guys, yes, they can shoot through the floor. Oh, and then they stab you if you get too close. You gotta be careful against these folks. But there's no stopping the spear, I'm telling you. This thing is money. And we got another guiltless shard. If you go through here, this chest here should have some multiplayer items in it. Alright, there we go. So those two items we picked up are your multiplayer items, they essentially will allow you to play co-op. And you can either summon people into co-op, or you can choose to go to someone's world via co-op. And this shit down here, good lord. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I don't know how to beat that guy. He is so damn hard. Like, I would imagine that these enemies are sort of the equivalent to the Kraken Knights in Salt and Sanctuary. You don't see them too often, but when you do, they're kind of like mini bosses. This dude is harder than any Kraken Knight I fought in that game, though. Like, this guy is unbelievably hard. I would consider him more like Red-Eyed Knight in Demon Souls. He's more kind of on that level. So I'm not going to mess with that guy for now. We're just going to press on this way because we are really close to another obelisk. This is a new item. We got more Wisp Leaf. Okay, and we are going to rest. So here's what I'm going to do. Just to show you guys what I'm talking about, just to give you an idea of what it is I speak of. And the other thing I noticed about that badass down there is he has no allegiance at all. He doesn't side with anybody. Like, if you pull him up here and aggro him, he'll start kicking the shit out of those guys. Like, I'm pretty sure he wants to kill anything that moves. So, let me show you what I mean. This guy, ugh, he's bad. Ugh, look at that. That's half my damn health in one hit. Alright, here we go. And then he also turns around really fast. Like, he has virtually no opening. He's very hard to beat. Like, if you try to punish him for running past you like that, he don't give a shit. Like, he'll turn around and mangle you. And I don't know what that special parry is. Like, I know you can't, like, actually parry in this game, but I know you can do that special block that sort of leaves the enemies open without actually leaving them open. Oh, that didn't work at all. Fuck! Fuck! I'm gonna die. Come up here. Come up here. Let me get a cheap shot against you. Ugh. So let's see if we can get the parry again. It worked! But there was no prompt to attack or anything. Oh shit, there was! But I hit the wrong button! God, I'm an idiot. Oh my god. I should have parried that guy right there. I should have, like... Wow. You know what? I'm suddenly inspired. I think this guy's worth trying to murder. No. Stab somebody else on your own time. That's it. Both of you. This spear is fantastic. Have I said that enough times yet? It is a very good weapon. What's this? A player message? Amazing friend below. Bring damage. Oh, well. Here. Hammer. Well, I have a hammer, but I don't have the ability to use it, unfortunately. Yeah, you can be kicked, boy. Alright. What? Oh my god! He killed me in one attack. That was kind of scary. So maybe it's not such a good idea to practice our parrying against this guy, but I'm determined. I really want to mess around and experiment with it. Ah! Oh yeah, I love it. It's so good. So let's eat ourselves a berry. Doesn't heal you hardly at all, but we need all the health we can get against this guy, because he's tough. Wonder if we can, like, firebomb him? Where's my... There it is. Alright, let's try that, shall we? Oh no. Ah! I don't think he liked that. Eat this. Oh, I shot him in the face and he poised through it. That was funny. Alright. So let's do... Oh my god. Let's not die. Let's try to do what we were doing before, shall we? Let's try to, like, see what we can do about this parry. Figure out the timing, huh? Okay, not quite right there. No. No. There we go. Oh, damn. That didn't do, like, hardly any damage, though, is the problem. Ugh. That did, like, what, 12 damage? We hit for 6 2 times? Doesn't seem very good to me. Did I just hit him in the ass? Oh my god, my aim is so fucking bad in this game. I think I just hit him in the ass again. That's hilarious. Alright, here we go. Come here. We're trying to practice against you, man. No. Oh, come on, roll. Fuck. I was out of stamina. You see what I mean? This game can be, like, super brutal if you don't manage your stamina properly. But I think that's okay. I think that's a satisfying enough testing for me against that guy, because what did we learn against him? We learned that it is not worth it at all to parry. Not for us, at least. Alright, so we got our stuff back. And thank goodness there's no, like, silly effect where you lose more and more of your health as you keep fighting, because that was kind of irritating in Salt and Sanctuary. We may as well loot our stuff. So this is going to be your first major boss in the playthrough. Urik's Necklace of Ears. Or Urik's, maybe? So here's what I found works against this guy. I say bait him while you're in front of him, like that, and then hit him. And then he'll attack in front of him. But he is kind of similar to the first boss in Salt and Sanctuary. He has attacks where he can turn around and he can do pretty good damage against you. Like, I would say damn near, see, just like that. He can turn around, do half your health in the blink of an eye. So you do need to be careful. But with this class, we have the fast roll. We're pretty agile with the ranger, so we can get out of dodge if we need to. And thrust damage seems to be pretty good against this guy. The other classes that I experimented with, trying out just like slash damage or blunt damage, they didn't seem to hit as hard as the spear did. Now, once you get this guy's health down far enough, he's going to start doing different attacks where he will become wise to your bullshit. And he'll turn around and start smacking you. Like, his recovery attacks become super annoying. Oh my god. That was lame. I can't believe I just got hit by that. Alright, come on, do the jump. There we go. And it is kind of hard to close the distance. It's hard to get in and hit him after he turns around. Shit. The stagger limit. Alright, come here. Jump for me. There we go. Attack. Oh, that was supposed to be a strong attack. I don't know why I did that. So, that's what I really like about the strong attack with the spear, is it's a jump. You're able to close a pretty good amount of distance with it, and then you can get out immediately after landing it. So choose carefully how you get your damage in with this guy. We're approaching half health, so he's going to start changing his moves up a little bit. He's going to start turning around much faster. You see that? So there's a new swing. And he'll turn around and do that immediately. So, what you can do against this guy is, if you decide that his combos are too much for you, you can turn around and you can shoot him with your arrows and do almost as much damage as like a stab would or more. Because you'll notice, if we hit him... Damn it. Well, I don't have any stamina. Oh, shit. New swings. You gotta be careful. So let's see what we do. 16 damage. Okay. Oh, no. 14 damage. So The arrow is technically doing more damage, or the bow is, than the spear right now, which is great because we have plenty of arrows. And you can fire in rapid succession. It does take stamina, so keep an eye on your stamina if you decide to go the bow route. But you can take him down. Oh! It's because he starts doing stuff like that where it becomes significantly more dangerous to try to hit him. You can get in and get out. You know, it's still doable as long as you dodge on time. Oh my god, no! Listen, man. I know you're having a bad day. So there we go. And don't forget to pick up the items. So we got a carved vessel from him. I do believe his drops can vary because on some of my other characters I was getting something different. But what I ended up getting from him just now was this carved vessel here. It's a level 0 defensive artifact, but it's rare. Sometimes he'll drop a different one that's common. This will give us 4.6 max health and 4.3 stamina recovery. So let's see if we can equip that, shall we? Nope, not there. Nope. I guess we just have it on us, it would seem. Yeah, because we can't put it in... Oh, we can put it in this slot. Great. Alright. See, all three of these slots look the same, but for some reason you can't put it in either of these. It seems to only go into the middle slot. Does it have anything to do with the shape? No, they look the same. Very interesting. I wonder what that is. We're going to have to do a little more research on that. I'm going to unequip some of these just so we don't have a jumbled and cluttered hotbar. And then beating that first boss, you get to go down into this area, and we're going to get our first Inquisitor tool. And let me just tell you how much of a fan I am of this thing. The grappling hook. And what do you notice about this corpse we just took it off of? They look just like us. This corpse is a ranger. Excuse me while I break these pots in this barrel. So, the grappling hook. Jump into the air, hit R2, boom. Is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen? And you notice, as we've been playing through this game, we have come across tons of these that prompt us to use the grappling hook. So now, excitingly enough, we get to go back and take advantage of all those things. No! Yeah, we're going to have to go back and do a little bit of exploring. So, the first place it wants us to go with the grappling hook is up this way. There are several spots back in the hub that we can use the grappling hook at to explore. And we'll go cover those as soon as we can. We have an obelisk right here. We'll rest, get our hearth and flasks back, get some ammunition while we're at it, and then right here we have a shortcut. So you can see that that spot there with the rope is preventing the ladder from coming down, so we can't access it. But once we go up there from above, we'll be able to kick this ladder and get that shortcut activated. So now we're in the Craterstone Mines, which is going to be our next a small area that's full of bad guys. Alright, so we got this guy here. Before he can pull his dagger out and shank us, we're going to shank him first. Okay, Page of Curses. So that is another crafting item. And then this is the exact kind of door that the dude that we were struggling to parry and kept getting murdered by was guarding. So these doors, you were required to devour certain amounts of hearts to unlock certain doors. This one requires 2. So let's do our wall jump. Come on. Hello? There we go. We're going to run off in this direction. I don't think there's anything we can loot over here, but there's no harm in showing it. I think this requires another Inquisitor's tool that we just don't have to be able to traverse these winds. So we'll have to come back for that later. But we are going to go up here, kick this guy's ass. Oh yeah, it's so good. I'm telling you. Try to block me, man. And succeed. don't try to block me and succeed. Okay, before we go up in that direction and deal with these clowns, we are going to go down through here. And this is where we're going to kick down the shortcut. There we go. Alright, so there's a couple more things I want to do before this episode comes to an end. And to get back, there's no way to get up there. And we can't get that item yet. We're going to have to come from a completely different direction to get that because, and that's as far as I've made it is just past this cave, but I've not found where you get through the wall to get that item. You probably drop down from up top somewhere. But right here, you'll notice that you can fall, and these guys will break. So, no damage, no harm done. Alright. Well, shit, that's not going anything like I want it to. So what I was hoping would happen there was... I was hoping... Ooh, this respawned. Very nice. I was hoping I was going to do the descending strong attack and send them flying, but that is not at all how it intended to go. No, sir. No, you're not going to stab me. Quite the opposite, actually. Nope. Oh, man. This spear is fantastic. It's such a good weapon. Wow, he totally outmaneuvered me. Like his damage speed outdid mine. That was slightly insulting. No pun intended. Alright, come over here. Let's do this the smart way, shall we? I don't give a damn about your shield. You're dying. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Oh no. Are you kidding me? Why is this guy folding me? No. Stamina. Stamina. I literally have been preaching it to you guys this whole playthrough, and yet I can't seem to take my own advice. Stamina management. It's important. And then, I've not found a way to get up there either. So, there's a couple little pockets here in this cave, a couple spots that we're just going to have to try to come back for later, when we're able to. Now, it really pays to pay attention to when they release that arrow, because by the time they knock it, if you try to dodge, you'll be too early. But at the same time, the arrow does go fast, so it's easy to dodge late as well and get hit. But that's my advice for the archers, is instead of trying to scramble as fast as you can to get to them and plunge your spear into their heart, like that, you probably are better off just trying to learn the dodge times for the arrow so you can just roll through it and use the iframes. May the iframes be with you, I say. And then now we are back out here in Ashbourne Village, and we are up on the top, upper level, where most of the living quarters appear to be. So I'm not worried about those guys back in the cave respawning. I don't care, because we're not going back through there just yet. But we do want to be at full health for most of this. Kick the shit out of you, because I am the Marked Inquisitor. Yeah. There's no tank in that, pal. So let's go this way first. This is going to dead end up here, and there's going to be an NPC that we want to talk to. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was satisfying. I'm telling you, man, you get these enemies one-on-one, not in groups. You fight them one at a time, and you can shred through them with this spear. Okay, so we can use the grappling hook to get up to this fellow. Maybe. There we go. Thank the gods, an Inquisitor. I returned from a journey to Ashbourne Village, only to discover what had become of it. I have even forgotten about the village's warding seals. Many of the doors are impassable while powerful mages still roam. If you can destroy a named mage, and I mean truly, truly devour its wretched heart, you will gain mastery over the village's warding seals. Many nameless mages roam Ashbourne Village, but only the devoured heart of a named mage will get you past these warding seals. So this guy is essentially kind of schooling us on these doors. We need to devour one heart of a named mage to get past this one. And I believe there's several of them within the radius that only require one, conveniently enough. So now we're going to push over this way, and it's going to make sense to you guys. It's going to make sense to you where we are, because you're going to notice a familiar face. Man, I tell you, they really amped up the difficulty in this game, and I'm a huge fan. Like, did you notice how slick that was? So I did everything correctly against that guy. Like, I dodged the first arrow, waited for him to loose the second arrow, so that way I could climb up here and be up in his face before he could knock the third one. He pulls a knife out and stabs me, like, immediately. Zero lag. Thought that was pretty damn cool. So there's another one of these doors that's locked down there. That is one of the ones I mentioned that requires one heart, so we still can't get through that. But let's climb up here real quick, and we'll talk to our friend. Not what I meant to do. There we go. Hey there. You're an Inquisitor, aren't you? Magebane right and all? Yes, I am. Listen, if you make your way up the cliffs just behind us, there's a tree at the very top, a talking tree. It told me that it wanted to speak to someone who had devoured the heart of a mage. Have you done that? Devoured the heart of a mage? No. Perhaps it's time that you began your journey then. In the gatehouse below us, there is a burned corpse with a strange magical warp to it. If you could investigate the corpse, perhaps it could lead you to a pyromancer? Well, that's oddly specific. He seems to know exactly what it is. Maybe that's our cue that this person, well, he or she, I can't really tell who's under there. Maybe that's our cue that this person has already fought this pyromancer and maybe just can't beat it by themselves. So be careful coming up through here. I haven't done this personally, but I'm pretty sure you can probably fall to your death very easily if you don't use the grappling hook correctly on this part. And here's the talking tree. The one before me climbed this hill seeking aid in the slaughter of mages. But the one before me has not yet slaughtered a mage. The one before me is not yet worthy. Prove your worth. Devour the heart of a mage. Well, okay, sounds good. I've eaten worse for less. So, the spot that this NPC is referring to is this, right here. We can examine this burning corpse, and that, I imagine, would activate this mage boss fight, and then we can get just a tiny glimpse of what's beyond the door below us, too. But that's as far as I've made it in this game. So, I figured it'd be pretty smart to try to cover what I am familiar with in the first episode, and then save episode 2 for the meat and potatoes, the real goodies that we want, the blind stuff. So, here we are, episode 1 of Salt and Sacrifice. This episode went a little bit smoother because, like I said, I had ran through this part a couple times on different character starting classes just to get a feel for what I want to do, and I'm happy with the Ranger. I'm glad I picked this class, and from this point on, everything is completely blind. I don't know anything about this pyromancer or what's going to happen when we touch this corpse, but that's the first thing we're going to do. In the next episode, we're going to touch the burned corpse and fight ourselves a named mage. I'm really excited about it. So, thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of Salt and Sanctuary. I've been your faithful host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD, and I will catch you guys in the next video.